as far as the breakaway is concerned. They've been up here for much of the day. Louis Verweycker's got nothing more to gain out of the day. He's got that Mountains jersey belongs to him, and here we are. Bartlemont says, I'm out of here. If you want to take it easy, there's a motorcycle coming by. I might just latch on here. And he does a fantastic job. And Lenny Martinez suddenly showing the efforts that he has managed to put in the bank. And none other than Nairo Quintana is going off after him. And nobody else can follow. Bartlemont detonates this group absolutely spectacularly, and it was the right moment to make a statement, and he's done that superbly.
Yeah, on this, this is the kind of false flat that goes up to the bottom where the real climb starts, so really difficult kind of moment. Everybody else was having that kind of little bit of rest before the final 10 kilometres, and Bartlemont's taking a flyer from the back. And remarkably enough, our friend Lenny Martinez is straight on it to get him.
Mauro Schmidt can't close the gap. He's trying his level best. Did so. Exchanges duties here with Gaffouri a little bit further behind. But it's all about this great push by Bartlemont. It'll be a statement ride for him, I guess, in a team that has really been cast asunder. Only left with 3 today. You saw Steven Kruijswijk earlier, struggling just a little bit. Wilco Kelderman. Bartlemont maybe bringing them some joy. Well, the announcement of indeed our run in has been shown. That is our intermediate sprint that counts for points here. 6, 4 and 2, no bonus time up for grabs, but won't be too much of a concern. These are the chasers, and it's our Swiss champion who finds himself in arrears, and it's by 22 seconds from already Martinez, Quintana and Le Mans, and a minute and 48 back to Tadej Pogacar and crew.
And this is where the climb starts. So Bartlemont just asked for a little bit of work from Lenny Martinez just before we got to this point, and Martinez shook his head, but now he's quite willing to come through to the front. So you could imagine that Bartlemont won't be happy with how Lenny Martinez is, and if I was Nairo Quintana, I'd kind of sit back and watch this for a bit just to see if they start to kind of knock lumps out of each other.
Let's wait and see. This is absolutely fascinating. Well, Visma, I was really quite looking forward to see how Wilco Kelderman would go, but Bartlemont was flying towards the end of the Giro, don't forget. So maybe he's taken a little while to find himself where he needs to be. Good level as well for Bartlemont on stage 2. He finished in 3rd place behind Gregoire and Camp Ruby. So he's been a bit of a sleeper as far as this one is concerned. Well, right now he's woken up, and so is the breakaway, to the fact that Bartlemont is on form. 26 seconds, and as you predicted, Pippa, here's your man. He's back.
Tim Whelan's on the false flat to the bottom of the climb. Is it going to be Großschartner behind him? Yeah, looks like it will be. Yeah, so they're going to do the bottom of the climb flat out. We'll see how long Tim Whelan's lasts, but already on that false flat, it would have put everybody in a world of pain.
There's only 8.9 kilometres to go. It's a minute and 56, and we're already well into the climb, or at least our breakaway is. They've managed to dispatch, 2 kilometres? 3, in fact, of the total for this climb to get to the finish line. And they still hold a margin of 2 minutes. This is a bit touch and go for the trio that have pushed on. They've now got an enhanced margin on what was the remnants of the breakaway. And Tadej Pogacar has got his work cut out, and it's all hands to the pumps. Could Pogacar still win the day, Pippa?
Yes. I've seen this climb in action. There could be spectacular weaknesses. It looks like Tiesj Benet's going to start to lead out here. You're not happy with the pace. So they're not going to put as much pressure as they can on everybody that they're fighting with for one of those top 10 places.
There's our King of the Mountains man. He's done his job, quite frankly, today. Now, who's he left behind? And there it is. He wants to finish to honour his own jersey. You know, if Louis Verweycker is feeling good, and quite clearly he's feeling good, this could be one of those power of the jersey moments. He's won the King of the Mountains. He knows he's got some media duties at the end of the day, and he's thinking, well, I might as well get myself a decent finish as well. He's ridden brilliantly.
He has it, and he looked like he was kind of halfway across already, so
yeah,
good move. But the kind of main interested here is what damage is Tim Whelan's going to do on this first part of the climb, how long it lasts, and then Grosjean was going to take over. And then maybe Narvaez as well, if he survives the acceleration.
Roman Gregoire struggling, and this is playing absolutely into the hands of Decathlon. They're doing a job here on absolutely everybody, and Roman Gregoire is one of those that would have been happier had this day. I mean, he didn't have a great time trial either, I'm afraid, but yeah, as it stands overall, and Tadej Pogacar goes, and guess who he's got with him for company? Richard Carapaz. And where is Vacek? That's the big question. Still a little bit further behind. No Carapaz. Time to waste, and away he goes.
Yeah, Carapaz is gone as well, so you can't hold that pace. Initial acceleration was okay, but
look at that.
Now he's at 10 metres. That's going to be 15, 20, 25.
And look at the gap as well, 1:08 now, and this is absolutely the drive that we were expecting from Tadej Pogacar. Carapaz, distance by 10, 11, possibly 12 bike lengths, and all of a sudden, it's a yawning chasm, isn't it? Here's your moment. Big look behind, a double check here from Pogacar himself, and then starts to stamp on it. Carapaz stays with him as best as he possibly can. No response from Vacek, who is battling Carapaz, don't forget, for that runners-up spot. And it's Carapaz still doggedly determined to push on into this. Good drive as well, coming out of Astana, out of the pack. It'll be interesting to see who that is, possibly Gita, I imagine, but nonetheless. The weaving into the shadows there goes Carapaz. And Tadej Pogacar is now narrowed the gap to just 58 seconds, but there's only 7.9 kilometres of this day remaining. Clearly, he wants to make more than a statement. He wants to pay the team back for what they have done for him today, and he is absolutely on it. This is superb. Well, for those out front, this is, I don't know whether they're going to get any notice here, but Lenny Martinez don't want to hang about. He's kicked on here. Bartleman tries to go. Quintana can't. He's got nothing left here, the veteran. But Lenny Martinez is bidding for glory, knowing that Tadej Pogacar is on his case, and there's a 54 seconds margin only. Oh, my goodness. Pogacar is going to start finding the others from the break. Before indeed Group 3 will be Garafori Schmidt, Finn Fisher-Black and Bauke Mollema. That's going to be tagged first by Tadej Pogacar, who is essentially Group 4 on the road here, as you can see. And let's have a look. Who's got what it takes to hold him in abeyance? And the answer is not many, I'm afraid. This is a struggle for plenty. Schlock struggling, Costillo quite surprisingly also in a bit of trouble. There are others back here. Vergalito is just going backwards, but this is the moment. Bauke Mollema now is being found by Pogacar, and the gap, well, the attack by Lenny Martinez has been a good one, and he's gone off up the road and he's expanded his gap to Tadej Pogacar. Was just a minute, bouncing back the other way. I tell you something, Lenny Martinez has got to be absolutely at the top of his game if he's going to stop this ingress. He wants cooling, does Pogacar, nothing more. And so he'll deal with all that, take another one, possibly for the cage. No, it's yet more shower. And Lenny Martinez still pushes on here, spectacularly so. That is still Bartleman, doggedly determined to stay with him. Nairo Quintana is wrestling all over the bike, just back there with the green Europe car as he comes around that little headland. But Lenny Martinez looks like he is tempoing away here. We'll see whether he holds this margin on Pogacar. We'll get a time check for you in a few moments' time. Well, it's time for the big names to make an impact right now. Finn Fisher-Black looks over the shoulder, and there it is. Tadej Pogacar looms large all of a sudden. He's going to catch Mauro Schmidt and indeed Gafuri, and then push on into this gap, but it's a gap that's still being held and maintained by Lenny Martinez. Super work by him. It's under a minute to do Tadej Pogacar, but he's going to eat his way through this breakaway to try his level best to take this final stage win. Is he going to do it, Pippa?
Is he going to appear in the shot? If he's within a minute, 6 kilometres to go, I'd say so. You know, I'd say Lenny Martinez needed a minute at 4K to go, but
there he is.
Pogacar's on a mission at the moment, and yeah, he's kind of recovered from that seated acceleration he's done, and then I think when you look at how he climbs, he kind of he puts in these kind of prolonged bursts, so and we don't get to see them kind of visually because he does it seated.
There's Fisher Black. There is Gaffori as well. They're trying to reassemble themselves. Mauro Schmidt has just tagged onto the coattails of Tadej Pogacar as he's gone by, and it's kind of Lenny Martinez at the moment, and possibly Tadej Pogacar. It may well be a two-up sprint by the end. No disrespect to Bartolomeo, who's doggedly staying with this one. Lenny Martinez looks around. He knows that Pogacar is coming. Can he possibly hold him off? And he's doing it. In fact, more than that, he's expanding the gap. 1:06. Tadej Pogacar has got a real task on his hands, and Lenny Martinez is the man with the whip hand at the moment. But here comes Tadej Pogacar. He's found his nemesis. He's dropped now the Swiss champion Mauro Schmidt. This has happened just a few moments ago. And as you can see, that's Mauro Schmidt's team car there at the side of the road, and he gives them a little wave as if to also say, I'm done. Yeah, well, properly cooked, and the man who's toasting everybody is right here. Now he finds for Viker. Not a word passes between them. Through he goes. For Viker will try and just stay with him, I reckon. Has a look behind, sees how much effort he needs to put in to be here, and in fact just gets left in the wake of this man. It's a wake-up call for everybody. He's on stellar form, Pippa, going towards the Tour de France, and he's greedy too, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And just looking at the technique he's using there, so he kind of knocks it down a gear or two on those slightly steeper sections, but then as soon as it eases off even a tad, he's straight back onto a bigger gear, and he certainly looks more comfortable than Lenny Martinez, who is in the role of being hunted at the moment by Tadej Pogacar.
He is. I'm wondering. Oh, there he is. In fact, I beg your pardon, that's Bartolomeo.
Yeah.
I mixed up my yellows. Here is Bartolomeo with Nairo Quintana a little bit further back. Still 53 seconds. You never quite know with the foreshortening of everything, and of course the percentages that we're dealing with. And here comes Tadej Pogacar. That's Nairo Quintana in his sight, just probably 50 or 60 metres ahead of him, just by the car. And yeah, that will be the first man. There is Bartolomeo just rounding that headland in that arboreal arch. But Lenny Martinez,
he's done a good job.
He's done a fabulous job. Here he comes. It's what's that? The 5Ks to go marker. Slightly out of position.
Yeah, the distance on the countdown is slightly out at the moment.
Actually, I've got a feeling it's the old Tissot sprint markers that we had from earlier, which don't count this time by. That would make sense. So, there is a spectacular view. This is Le Mans doing a brilliant job. Look back to the cars, however, and you find Nairo Quintana. It's slightly in no man's land, and then as the camera pans back, you will find this man. None other than Tadej Pogacar himself. Has he got enough time? 5.4 kilometres, 47 seconds, and the gap to Martinez is really starting to narrow now. This is Quintana who's going to sail straight by him. He likes to make this move almost a statement move, isn't it? That he doesn't change pace at all. He just drifts by flagging riders. And, you know, they're in awe of him. They're looking at the back of him before they know it.
Yeah, well, there's no point in them trying to, you know, if Tadej's coming up, he needs to do 3 kilometres an hour faster. At this stage in a race, you can't follow that kind of speed. You'll last 200 metres like we saw of Mauro Schmidt. If you're lucky, you get caught on a kind of slightly flatter section. But if it's in any way above 6 or 7%, then you're in trouble.
Very good work here, I've got to say, from these guys. But it's, you know, when the spotlight is demanded by Tadej Pogacar, it's all too easy to live in his shade. Big loser today, potentially, is going to be Vacek. Meanwhile, this is certain Primož Roglic who's found his mojo, which is fantastic. Rounds this headland, 41 seconds. Has he timed this brilliantly, Tadej Pogacar? That's Bart Lemon in front of him in the trade kit of Visma Lease bike, and then just one man needs to be found before he's in the lead on this stage to crown an amazing Tour de Suisse.
Can you see Lenny Martinez up there, up on his right-hand side?
Martinez will be looking back down after the switchback, knowing full well that this man is coming. 39 seconds now, with 4.7 kilometres to go. Here is Martinez, the hare. Well, if he did look back, he would have seen them. He was screened by that tree momentarily, and as we look back right now, you should see both yellows together, and here it is. The leader's golden jersey here upon the shoulders of Tadej Pogacar, and he just drives into the back wheel here of Bart Lemon, and he'll sail by him. And how disheartening will this be? You've been up the road all day, and there comes a man who just paces straight by you, and suddenly it's a bike length, it's 2 bike lengths, it's 3, it's 4, it's gone. Yeah, Tadej Pogacar can he catch him? That's the point.
Yeah, he's going to catch him. They're on a section here, but it's back up to 89% again. That's where you can see Lenny Martinez, having to work a lot harder. Just noticed there that Bart Lemon looked across to the sides of the gear that Tadej Pogacar was riding, and just kind of tried to take a deep breath in the awe that he was witnessing.
Tadej Pogacar is going to crown off an amazing Tour de Suisse. Not always the most popular choice, I've got to say, as an approach race for the Tour de France, but chosen by Tadej Pogacar this year, as opposed to the Dauphiné, because, quite frankly, he hasn't won this one, and he quite wanted it. Shortened down, we were a bit worried that it might not offer up enough of a test for him, but it seems to have suited him absolutely down to the ground. And if you've only got 5 days instead of 9, which it used to be traditionally, the Tour de Suisse, then use it as best you can by making it as hard upon yourself and your team as you can. He said at the beginning of the day he wanted to test the levels of the squad and himself, and I think they've done that royally. They've passed that test, haven't they?
Oh, easily. They've been quite scary in the kind of domination and the roles that each of them have played. We saw the kind of lead out that Tadej Pogacar got on the first day from both Tim Wellens and Niels Pollitt, and then the other days where they've tried to let Jonathan Narvaez win. So they've been in control of this race probably since the very start. There's been no point where they've looked in any kind of trouble, not at all.
I'm just looking at this, and it says the white, that's the white jersey, I believe, is at 2 minutes and 17. I'm actually wondering.
Yeah, that's Nairo. This is Nairo coming around.
Yes, I know. I'm looking at the graphic. I'm looking at the graphic Group 5, the young riders classification. I don't know where Carapaz is. That's going to be sensational if indeed our young rider Vacek has actually managed to re-find himself. We will find out.
Carapaz was in between, so what they're showing is Group 2, Group 5.
Here it is, we've got it now.
Yeah, so
you're absolutely right. There is Vacek, the young rider classification leader. You can see just up ahead of him is Carapaz. So there's a battle there to be resumed. I think Carapaz may well have saved his energy in order to target being runner-up in this race. On the stage, runners-up might be the best that Lenny Martinez can hope for, because the gap is down to just 30 seconds. And here comes Tadej Pogacar. It's almost ominous. Whenever he rides to win, and that's what you're going to see. What can Lenny Martinez do about this? Well, he's doing everything he can, which is turning himself inside out, but he looks less than comfortable here, I'm afraid.
He doesn't, and Taddy's coming onto one of those little kind of slightly flatter sections again, where he's just able to step up another couple of gears, whereas Lenny Martinez is using those points to try and recover. It's looking ominous for Lenny Martinez. You can see the race director there and kind of hanging out of the car looking back, because he knows that Pogacar's coming as well.
And how quickly is he coming? It's holding at 30 seconds just for now. This might have been a little bit of respite on the slightly flatter section. Goes through an offered rain shower here. Sometimes it can be a bit of a distraction, I've got to say. Somebody's standing there with a hose, but he's undiminished. And there is that fifth group that we were talking about with the white jersey. Carapaz is now part of that group. That's come back together. So a little bit of cool offered up to Le Mans, and that shows you the gap. And here's Lenny Martinez, 26 seconds with 2.8 kilometres to go. This is... Oh, look at that face, Pippa. This hurts.
Painful. It's painful knowing that the race leader's come in and he wants to win the stage. And Lenny Martinez, even though he's been saving all his energy for this moment, he's gradually getting to the end of his tether, in and out of the saddle. So yeah, he's having to work it above his his maximum. He doesn't want to look round and see Pogacar, just there, 200 metres up behind him.
Danny Pogacar yesterday, quietly spoken, it was that despite the fact he'd won, he was a bit unhappy with his performance on a flat time trial. Such is the level that he keeps himself at. He looked in a better mood this morning, but he is such a man of detail that he will have, if he's not at his absolute best, it's not good enough. I mean, what a competitor he is, Pippa.
Yeah, well, it's often been the case that it's been his first race on that new time trial bike from Colnago. So there's probably a little bit little bit of work to do in the setup of that as well. So he feels entirely comfortable.
Still looking for Richard Carapaz. We've just seen, indeed, Vacek, our young rider, classification leader. 5 seconds, we remind you, between Carapaz and then Vacek in second and third, respectively. Lenny Martinez is doing a fantastic job here, but it's down to 21 seconds, I'm afraid, the gap to Tadej Pogacar, who's coming. The cruelty of this, the flags of the count on display for you, and just up ahead is the 2 kilometres to go marker, but just behind is this man who throws gauntlets down just for fun. Roads are littered with them, and right now he is in punching mode. 20 seconds, goodness me, and look at this, he's even riding the white line next to the wall. He wants to get the shortest way home. This is phenomenal. He's riding this like his life depended on it. He is such a competitor. 17 seconds now for Tadej Pogacar, jinxing to the middle of the road. Busy flag waving. Don't get that anywhere near his mech, for goodness sake. We love your enthusiasm. But here he comes, back out to 20 seconds now. So Lenny Martinez has responded back to 18 seconds. Pippa, this is going to be quite close. 16 it says now. I don't think the transponders know what to list for us. 15 it says. It doesn't look like he's blowing up, Lenny, but just look at the difference in terms of pace and indeed cadence here. He looks so smooth, calm and collected. No panic from Tadej Pogacar just yet, but he might have to sprint for it in the end.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to, go a little bit deeper than he was planning to with Martinez here, because he's holding on. Oh, and he's changed out of the big ring for once. Just that, so a little bit of weakness from Tadej Pogacar there into these last 2 kilometres.
Here's the Carapaz-Vacek battle, not quite all together, and this is all together suffering, isn't it? Oh, look at that. 16 seconds it counts out just for the time being. Lenny Martinez. Do you know, there's a great deal of affection passes, admiration, I think, and appreciation passes between Tadej Pogacar and any rider who really tries to go for it. He knows the efforts they're putting in. He's confident that he's got the beating of them as well, but he's always very kind in his acclamation of those who come close. He spoke really warmly about Van der Poel this morning, and he'll be equally as generous in his praise of Lenny Martinez at the end of today, if indeed he wins it. But it looks like that is what's going to happen. Into this curve, and he's going to have a full sight of him. Says 11 seconds right now, and it's going to be into single figures before you know it. And there's no doubt the man who wears number 1 is going to live up to that billing and grind into Lenny Martinez, who is still giving absolutely everything here. Full beans, Pippa.
Yeah, 4 beans, as you said. And this little kind of steeper bit. Another acceleration from Pogacar there. So this is the final push for him to try and take back Martinez, just so that he doesn't have to kind of sprint the last kilometre. But you have to say that Martinez is putting up a bit of a fight here. You know, he's going deep like we expected he had to do.
Well, he's pushed it back out to 10. It bounces back down to 8, but I think the flow here is only going one way. The tide is turning against Lenny Martinez, and the Flamme Rouge, he might even tag him just before he goes underneath it rather cruelly. Here comes Tadej Pogacar, and he likes to win emphatically. He's not going to ease up Pogacar. I don't even think he'll take a breath on his back wheel before he goes round him. But there is the Flamme Rouge, and how cruel is this game? Lenny Martinez played every trick in the book as part of the breakaway. He was trying to preserve himself, but ultimately it was just to be the last sacrificial lamb out here for this man. Well, he's got his fans, the little fella there in a world champions replica kit. There is a world champion that's the leader of this race, and he's going to power by, and here we go. Whoa! Lenny looked the wrong way, didn't deliberately try and move over there. I think he was trying to move out of the way, but Pogacar went up the inside of him, sailed by, and maybe just added a little bit of imbalance to Lenny Martinez, but my goodness, there is no balance, is there, it seems, in cycling. When Tadej Pogacar is in this kind of form, it goes his way, and right now he's going all the way to the line to win this race in the leader's jersey, make it 3-stage wins, hold his arms aloft, and this will go down as job very well done, Pippa.
Yeah, it certainly will. I thought Pogacar was just going to kind of ease off before that little flat bit back there, but he dispatched them just before he got even the risk of Martinez getting his wheel wasn't going to happen. So there's almost a coup de grace there where he stabbed him on the last part where he might have a chance of staying with Pogacar.
It was clever. He went on the inside. Lenny Martinez was drifting that way. I don't think there was any contact between them at all. But basically, Lenny Martinez had to just change his line, and in so doing, it gave a little bit of a gap. There was no error possibility. Tadej Pogacar is the pilot of his own destiny, it seems. Every single time he comes to a race, he wants to win everything possible, and that's precisely what he has done here at the Tour of Switzerland. 3-stage wins to his name. He comes into the shrouded, hoarded section here, and indeed he's going to come to the line as our champion, as number one, as favourite for the Tour de France, and as dominant as is likely or indeed possible to be. Has the time to give the high fives to the fans. He'll cross the line as our champion here. Tadej Pogacar wins the 89th Tour de Suisse, phenomenally so, and a display of fatigue across the line. Lenny Martinez almost wobbles over it, as you can see. Tadej Pogacar will drive through to get himself a little bit of breathing space out there. His helpers are with him to keep everyone in abeyance until he is ready to talk. He's usually quite quick to do precisely that. But my goodness, what a ride from Tadej Pogacar, paying back his team who worked so brilliantly for him. A very strong breakaway of 11 riders went up the road. They had a handsome margin. It counted for nothing because he brought it in, and in some style. 3-stage wins, the title, and our appreciation. What a day, what a ride, Pippa.
Yeah, looking at how Tadej finished there, I think that was a bit harder than he expected he was going to have to go. Yeah, as we feared, give him even sniff of the win at the bottom and he's all over it, and he produces that win again, that overall title to go with it.
Right, our mind casts back down the mountain. All credit to Bart Le Mans, but we want to know, where is Carapaz and where is Vacek, because that is a podium places to be decided. If Carapaz finishes in front of Vacek, he holds on to second place in this race, and they're not that far behind. This is Bart Le Mans coming in. I don't know whether Nairo Quintana has been tagged by the Carapaz group with Sergio Higuita, and here we go. We have, and that's Carapaz just behind, and no sign of Vacek. So that job has been done. Riccitello is paying back his own team as well after doing a lot of driving work. He's pushing on toward the line here and crosses it now. Meanwhile, this is Carapaz, and we will wait to see Vacek, who will have to accept third place in this race, and there's no shame in that for the young man. He's the young rider classification leader, and somebody that we are full of admiration and appreciation for. He crosses the line now. Well, plenty of stories to be told, some great battles we've had in the wake of Tadej Pogacar, but you don't need a wake-up call to know that Tadej Pogacar is on stellar form ahead of the Tour de France. Wow, Pippa.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? That it's what we feared it would happen at the bottom of the climb. You know, Lenny Martinez emptied himself to try and stay in front, and still wasn't enough. You see Primož Roglič come in. A little bit of a disappointing race for Red Bull, you know, not really being competitive in any of the stages. So they've got a lot of work to do for the. Well, this isn't the A team here, you know, but this is the Primož, kind of the first bits of work heading towards the Vuelta.
Yeah, he doesn't want to peak for the Tour, he wants to peak for the Vuelta, of course. Primož Roglič comes in now, and applause and appreciation of Mauro Schmidt. Gave it his best shot as Swiss champion. So nice.
Milking the applause.